Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Chanavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Chanavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Bracha Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Bracha Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jai Jai Shishi Radha Madhava Ki Jai Shishi Palat Lakshmi Singhadev Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya So, wer versteht kein Englisch? Kishorikund? Doch. Yes. So haben wir eine Übersetzung ins Deutsche. Für Sanjay weißt du, es ist Kishorikund und... Was? Julia, kannst du übersetzen für die Mädels? Super. Du kriegst den super Bonuspunkt. Und dann dann kannst du ihr das Deutsch geben. Na, was jetzt? Du говоришь немец. No? Как? Сколько тебе? No. Mój papa traktorist. Mój mama inżynier. So what? So who's translating into Ukraine? Who do you understand? Who does understand English? Huh? English is good. Well. Weil sie hat gesagt, in Deutsch will sie reden. Okay. So, we speak in English. Okay, we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, part number 2. Chapter 25, verse 27. Now. Asevayayam prakriter gunanam asevyayam prakriter gunanam asevayayam prakriter gunanam kyanena vairagya vichrimbitina kyanena vairagya vichrimbitina kyanena vairagya vichrimbitina yogena maya apitaya cha bhaktya yogena mai arpitaya cha bhaktya yogena mai arpitaya cha bhaktya mam pradyak atmanam ihavarunde mam pradyak atmanam ihavarunde mam pradyak atmanam ihavarunde asevayayam prakriter gunanam kyanena vairagya vichrimbitina yogena maya arpitaya cha bhaktya mam pratyak atmanam ihavarunde. Yogena maya apitaya cha bhaktya. Mam pratyak atmanam iha varunde. Asevayayam prakrite gunandam. Jnanena vairagya vichrimbitena. Yogena maya apitaya cha bhaktya. Mam pratyak atmanam iha varunde. Ladies. Asevayayam prakrite gunanam. Jnanena vairagya vichrimbitena. Yogena maya apitaya cha bhaktya. Mam pratyak atmanam iha varunde. Asevaya, by not engaging in the service. Ayam, this person. Prakrite gunanam, of the modes of material nature. Jnanena, by knowledge. Vairagya, with renunciation. Vichrimbitena, developed. Yogena, by practicing yoga. Mai, unto me. Apitaya, fixed. Cha, and bhaktya, with devotion. Mam, unto me. Pratyak atmanam, the absolute truth. Iha, in this very life. Avarunde, one attains. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thus, by not engaging in the service of the modes of material nature, but by developing Krishna consciousness, knowledge in renunciation, and by practicing yoga, in which the mind is always fixed in devotional service under the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one achieves my association in this very life. For I am the Supreme Personality, the Absolute Truth. Purport. When one engages in devotional service to the Lord in the 9 different kinds of bhakti yoga, as enunciated in authoritative scriptures, such as hearing, shravanam, chanting, remembering, offering worship, praying, and offering personal service, either in one of them, or 2 or 3, or all of them, he naturally has no opportunity to engage in the service of the 3 modes of material nature. Unless one has good engagements in spiritual service, it is not possible to get out of the attachment to material service. Those who are not devotees, therefore, are interested in so-called humanitarian or philanthropic work, such as opening a hospital or charitable institution. These are undoubtedly good works in the sense that they are pious activities, and their result is that the performer may get some opportunities for sense gratification, either in this life or in the next. Devotional service, however, is beyond the boundary of sense gratification. It is completely spiritual activity. When one engages in the spiritual activities of devotional service, naturally he does not get any opportunity to engage in sense gratification, sense gratificatory activities. Krishna conscious activities are performed not blindly, but with perfect understanding of knowledge and renunciation. This kind of yoga practice, in which the mind is always fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead in devotion, results in liberation in this very life. The person who performs such acts gets in touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya therefore approved the process of hearing from realized devotees about the pastimes of the Lord. It does not matter to what category of this world the audience belongs. If one meekly and submissively hears about the activities of the Lord from a realized soul, he will be able to conquer the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is unconquerable by any other process. Hearing or associating with devotees is the most important function for self-realization. Oops. Om Aknanati Mandasya Aknananchana Shalakaya Chakshu Umidam Yena Tasmei Shikadave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Stabidam Yena Putale Svayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Swapadandikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thus, by not engaging in service of the modes of material nature, but by developing Krishna consciousness, knowledge and renunciation, and by practicing yoga, in which the mind is always fixed in devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one achieves my association in this very life. For I am the Supreme Personality, the Absolute Truth. So, Hare Krishna. To explore the Srimad Bhagavatam, we need blessings. We need blessings from those who live the Srimad Bhagavatam. And who lives the Srimad Bhagavatam? And his followers, like Sanjay does. So I'm asking for the blessings of all of you that we may together explore the Srimad Bhagavatam, especially this verse. Because actually it's a very important verse, like basically all of them in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But here we have some special depth in it, some special truth in it. Because it reminds us that we have a certain service capacity, right? We know this. We like to serve. We like to serve. It makes us actually happy. It makes us happy to serve. Is she okay? Good. It makes us happy to serve because it gives us some sense of that we are needed, that we are wanted. So when somebody gives us some engagement, we feel valid. We feel kind of, yes, somebody values my existence, or yes, I'm worth something. Therefore, so many people, they have so hard times if they don't have any job, not having any occupation. Well, especially in, I don't know, in other countries, but Germany, there's I don't know if it's now high or low or whatever, there's so many people, they have no job. And they're frustrated because nobody wants them. This is how they feel. No? Because you only worth something if you have, a master. If you are a slave to somebody. Right? Now, Krishna Prema Rupa, if you remember when he was here, he explained that the word dasa or dasi, normally we translate it, or we as we known, is what? Servant, right? And servant is something what, okay, is servant. It's not so great, but at least he's a servant. But actually, dasa means slave. Slave. So we Krishna dasa. We slaves of Krishna, right? And when we tell this in the material world, so Prabhu, what are you? I say, I'm a slave of Krishna. Here goes the sect, right? Here goes the sect. Something is wrong. Somebody want to be the slave. But this is actually what everybody want to be. We want to be a slave of somebody, of some master. Because this master gives us, he saves us. He gives us money, and with that money we can live. Without that money, without that master, without that money what he gives us, we can't live. We're doomed. Right? So we pray to master, slave, trader, please engage me in your devotional service. And with that, we make sure if we in his service, then and out of this money we get what? Yeah, we get our sense gratification. So it seems like a win-win business, right? So he get what he wants by squeezing me out, and I get what I want by squeezing material nature out. Right? So in this sense, we are happily, more or less, in material world. But guess what? Material world is not. It's not a place for enjoyment if we don't understand matter what it is. If we understand matter what it is, then it's not dangerous anymore. Because what is matter? What is matter? Krishna's energy. Which energy? It's pleasure potency, actually. Right? It comes in pure energy. Yeah, I mean, it comes from, it's expanded in kind of what we say Durga Dham. Right? She takes care of it, basically. Right? And Durga is an expansion of what? Yeah, of Radharani. Now comes the supreme enjoyer. Shri Shri Padat Lakshmi Shingadev Ki Jai. So she expands in this material energy. Of course, it's a complicated process, and there's also, of course, the husband of Durga Devi involved, very much involved. Who is? Who's what? Huh? Shiva, yes. Shiva. And they take care of all this energy. But actually it belongs all to Krishna. It belongs all to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when we understand this, then and to what category do we belong? Huh? Yes, and this means what? We have a choice. We have a choice, right? But from the constitution, I mean, we placed in this choice position. But actually, to what do we belong? To spiritual energy. But what is our tattva? Jiva tattva. So we belong. Actually, we belong to the how to say the group of the servants, following in the footsteps of ultimately Srimati Radharani. Therefore, we are called Prakriti. Prakriti, right? And Prakriti means what? Who gives? What gives service? What serves? That's the nature. It's the nature of us. It's not just that, somebody says you have to work, you have to do something, you have to do devotional service. No, it's our nature. It's embedded in us. And what is opposite of Prakriti? Purusha, the one who receives service, who gets all the service. Right? No, it's not that now, that the Purusha is basically God, that he's sitting there and say, well, let's serve me, and he's enjoying. No, but what Purusha does, he gives the opportunity for Prakriti to function. So he gives He gives the opportunity, means he creates the facilities for us to fulfill our nature. He gives us the facility to do our nature. Let's say somebody like Kishori-kun, she makes wonderful flower garlands, you see. And Kishori-kun, she goes downstairs in the staircase and she sees not so many flowers there to make an opulent garland. So what she does is she goes in nature and knows exactly, because she's living here since quite some years, she knows exactly what time of the year is it, so which flowers will grow. And she know now, and you see on the streams, they're growing these yellow flowers. So she goes there and harvesting them. She didn't plant them, but she had a strong desire to serve the Lord with an opulent garland. So the Lord gives her the facility. The facility is given by the Lord, right? And then she can make the flower garlands. Or it's like me, like a puchari. I wake up the Lord basically every day. But who wakes me up? The alarm clock, right? Is this the but actually, yeah, it seems like, because this gives me the sense that I'm in control because I'm setting the alarm. But when you see actually my sleeping pattern, then you would say it's not possible that somebody wakes up after. I don't want to speak about this, but I don't get so much night sleep. My wife knows. So it's the Lord who wakes me up, that I can wake him up, that I can perform my service. So he's the facilitator of service. And that we can perform this service as Prakriti, we need to understand this principle. Because when we don't understand this principle, we think, hey, there comes my mascot. Hey, Charu, come in. Okay. Yeah, comes the alarm clock. No, these times are over. So where we are. Yeah. When we understand this, then it's not a problem. The example often is given by the fish. If a fish is in the water, then he is in his element, right? He can swim. He's completely happy breathing underwater. Charu, can you breathe underwater? No. Because why? Because you're not a fish, right? Yes. So, but the fish is very happy in the water. He eats whatever swims by in the water. He eats that, and he can breathe underwater. He sees underwater. He's completely happy. So from our perspective, we would think, oh, this poor fish living in the cold, icy water, right? So we take out the fish and put him on a nice Vyasasan and swinging him and giving him something nice to eat, a lollipop, so he can suck on a lollipop, the fishy, right? And we place him in the sun that he gets warm. From our perspective, we would think that make the fish very happy. And maybe even the fish would think, wow, I would like to enjoy like the humans though. They eat nice foodstuffs. They're sitting in the sun. But actually, what will happen to the fish? He will die. In the same sense, when we are looking at Krishna, seeing his opulence, and think, wow, I would like live like that. I would live like the king. What happens actually to us? We will. And finally we will. Spiritually we will die. Because it's not our nature. We are fishes. We're not humans in that sense. In the same way, we as Prakriti, we need to serve. That's our nature. This is where we live. This is where we thrive. We thrive on serving. The question is just, whom do we serve? Sehr gut. Yes, we have to find out whom do we serve. And it sounds so easy, because this is what from the first page where we open Srila Prabhupada's books, Srila Prabhupada explains to us that we are the servant of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? And when we read this all the time, we sometimes think, I got the point. Did we really get it? Did we really get it, that we really live this, that we really realize we are slave of Krishna? Because why? This is our life. This gives us security, actually. If we serve Krishna, this gives us the supreme security. If we feel insecure, it's because we don't place our service, our attachment to the right position. We place it in an insecure place. Now, when we put our attachment, our hopes in matter, what is basically what changes all the time, it's insecure. So how we can get security of something out what is insecure? When we base our security on insecure objects, then we basically will be doomed. So therefore we have to place our attachment, our security on something what is supremely secure, and this is only Krishna. This is Purusha. Right? And then there's the other, I also read yesterday, there is, and of course we know all this, because what actually is this here, what we're reading all about? Who's speaking? Really, Charu? Okay, who's speaking? Okay, yeah. But actually, who's speaking here in the Bhagavatam at the moment? Nakama. To Devahuti, yes. And we have often forgotten, because not so prominent anymore, but we have a very, very wonderful book actually by Srila Prabhupada called The Teachings of Kapila, right? And basically what is there is that Srila Prabhupada extends his purpose to the Bhagavatam. So we get a little bit more out of there. And he brings also the analogy of a prison house. Now when we think of a prison house, or when we think of this analogy, we always think, okay, we have heard this, and people say, you see world as a prison house and you are the prisoner. That's very negative. But depends from which side you look upon it. Because the ones who are in a prison house, they may suffer the first few days where they go in. Then the mind is so that it adjusts to any circumstances. Sometimes you have even poor people who live on the street, and in the winter when it gets very cold, they make some small crime, like, I don't know, like scaring an old lady or something. Or robbing something, or going in a bank and say, that's a robbery, everybody on the floor, that then police comes and put them in the prison. Because they know there's warm, they get some food, right? So for them it's kind of prison, is kind of heavenly planet. No, wait a minute, there's supposed to be a punishment, right? But no, when they are inside, they kind of enjoy. And it's the same way, if you look, I don't know if anybody of you, nobody's present here, but if somebody maybe had some experience with jails or studied the psychology or the sociology in jails, they have quite like a system there. They have basically like a Varnashram system there. There's a hierarchy. They have their own They have even their own businesses there. They're trading there amongst each other and so many things. So they get along with it. And after a while, especially when you have maybe sentence for life, you in prison for life, so you know what you expect. So prison becomes your world, becomes your home. And after a while you feel quite comfortable there. Right? And you may even, if even somebody may say, oh, you will get out in 1 year, you will get out of prison. Who maybe lived for 10 years in the prison, and he may think, oh my goodness, what will I do outside? I'm afraid of going outside. So better I stay in the prison. Better I make some more crime. They say, okay, when you behave nicely, in 1 year you will get out. How's it called? Amnesty International. You get amnesty. You get out of here. And oh my goodness, what should I do outside? I have no job. I have no business. There will be always the one who came out of the prison. Who will take me seriously? But here I'm the big man in the prison. I control so many things. So many people under my control. So better I stay in prison. So make sure that I stay in prison as I make again some crime that I noticed for making crime, so I can stay in the prison. Sounds this familiar?
It's like any material situation, we try to do whatever we can so that we just stay there and don't go out of the box.
Yeah, because we are afraid to step out of the box. Ciao, what? Wo? Ja, klar, musst du auch draußen. Du musst überall arbeiten. You always have to serve. You have to always do something. In prison, outside of prison. So that's exactly our point. We are afraid to step out of the box. We are afraid to become Krishna Dasa. We are afraid because here we know what's going on. Right? Is a person who is afraid by fear, is controlled by fear. This person, most of people who are afraid of something, they don't want to give it up. They don't want to give up their fears, because they identify with that fears. That's me. I am that fear. So I don't want to give it up, because then who I am if I give up this. So in the same way, we all know where we are here in the material world. That's all. It's, make the best bargain out of a bad business. But we don't perceive the higher reality. Therefore, Prabhupada always tells us we need what? Yeah, Bhagavatam. You have such good answers, but not with the question exactly. What we need a higher? Huh? Yeah. Higher taste, yes. We need a higher taste. What gives us a glimpse of this what is waiting for us, Emilio. Like prasadam. You need some. First time we ate prasadam. Who remembers the first time you ate prasadam? Yes. It's like something, something else. Something from the heavenly planets. And then think, wow, I want to have this all the time. And each and every time you go to this Hare Krishna people, you get this strange food, what tastes completely different. And you get addicted to it. Or you in the kirtan suddenly the kirtan takes off, and you think, wow, that's from another realm. That's from another world. So we need this higher taste. And if we don't have this higher taste, at least we should have what?
Desire.
Yeah, and how we get this desire?
Association with those who have.
Yes, exactly. So therefore Prabhupada says here, that's so important to be in contact with devotees. who have this higher taste, who have this higher realization. And there they say, one thing is also what struck me is, wait a second, this is, thus by not engaging in the service of the modes of material nature, okay, that's the material world, but by developing Krishna consciousness, okay, this is the opposite, knowledge in renunciation, and by practicing yoga, in which the mind is always fixed in devotional service under the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one achieves my association in this very life. So what does it mean by knowledge in renunciation? What do you think? Let's explore on this. Knowledge in renunciation. No? What do you think?
I have a spontaneous thought which I had
Yeah?
a few days ago, is that if I cultivate knowledge but I don't cultivate austerity, it's very it doesn't do anything, it doesn't go deep. So there's need of, like, renunciation, it's that means to detach from matter. And actually that is not different from knowledge, because we are not matter. So by renouncing false ideas, by renouncing illusion, actually we become situated in knowledge.
Yeah. I had a similar picture what came when I thought about this. It's like we all, like, if we see ourselves as a cup, as a cup, a glass, and this glass is full with our ideas, like how we become happy, how it should look in this material world, how our life should look like. You know, everybody has some kind of idea, especially when we are younger. We have some dreams, some hopes, that when I'm grown up, Joe, what do you want to be when you're grown up? You want to be Buchari. Murari told me yesterday, when he is big, he want to be a fire worker, Feuerwehrmann. Weil die löschen immer Feuer. So he want to make the fire, the other one will lösch the fire. So, yeah, even. So we have our ideas, what will become of us, you know, or I don't know if it's a fairy tale, but I was told that ladies always think, you know, they want to be laid on like a princess, and there comes a prince on a white horse. Yes, Manchu comes on a white horse, and then he takes the princess on his horse, and they're riding away in a beautiful castle, or something like that. Or, you know, we think of things like that. So we have this glass filled with our desires, and we keep attached to this desire. So we're very careful that our desires, our dreams, our hopes don't get spilled somewhere. No? We have to protect them. But in this moment where we understand this is all false, this is just my dreams, has nothing to do with reality, has maybe something to do with my karma, then we slowly start to pour out our hopes for happiness in the material world. Because they all contain that I'm the enjoyer of my hopes, of my material world. It's all, my hopes are all centered around me in the end. Even if we use other people to target our hopes on it, but in the end we hope that from this target something is reflecting back. To become happy, everybody of us looks for a soulmate or somebody who is close to us by being opposite us, right? Most of us. So, and we think then I become happy. When I make this person happy, I become happy because something is reflecting. But if this person is not completely pure, then it will just absorb this and not so much will reflect. It's like black and white. Anyway, it's another thing. So when we slowly pour out our hopes, then what will end up? No hopes. Empty cup, right? And because we are afraid of having an empty cup, we keep it. No, I don't want to renounce it. I don't want to renounce my hopes. I don't want to renounce my material world. What is maybe not even there yet, but at least it's there in my hopes and my dreams. Huh? But if we really pour it out and leave it empty and see what happens, somehow or other this glass will be filled. Somehow this glass will be filled. If I go outside and pour all this water outside on the ground, and I will put this empty glass there, what will happen? Yeah. Somehow or other, at one point, this glass will be full again. Right? And then I have clear, pure rainwater. So in the same way, when we are ready, when we renouncing our identity or our false ideas, how material world should look like, if we pour them out and leave the cup and waiting, then the Lord actually can fill it up again. And this gives us real knowledge. It's not our knowledge, that's then real knowledge. So this is what I thought of knowledge and renunciation. When we give up, we can receive something. Same thing when we attach to something. No? We can't get some, we holding something on. No, it's mine. And somebody comes, well, I have something for you. That's even better. No, I have to hold on to this. I can't take it. I have full hands. So what we can receive then? Nothing. But if we let go, then we can receive something. It's like somebody told me, if you come to the temple, we all come with 2 big rice bags to the temple. Huh? And then somebody say, chant Hare Krishna. I say, no. Chant Hare Krishna. No. Chant Hare Krishna. No. But in this moment we let go. Then we can really chant Hare Krishna. Right? And then we become happy. Sounds like this Hare Krishna theory, but if you really try it, it works. It works. But for this we have to renounce our ideas of how we become happy. If we think, how my master gonna be happy? If I think, how my Nrsingadev gonna get happy today? When Narahari, when she start to cook, tomorrow you can see, before she start to cook, she comes here. She first of all looks if Nrsingadev looks skinny. She knows if he becomes skinny. There's this story. I think it was in Mumbai. They had a tailor for the deities who came every when and then, and he always wanted to come on the altar to measure the deities. And the devotees were like, now come on, now comes again. I mean, every time he comes, he's a Muslim, he's a meat eater, he want to go on the altar. From us, only second initiation, you can go on the altar. And this Muslim want to come on the altar with his, and with his fingers, and he touches our deities and measures them. That's disgusting. And then one devotee, one point, he said, Prabhu, you came last time. You measured them already so many times. You don't have to measure them all the time. He said, no, they're changing. The devotees could not see. This Muslim could see. He had the experience. They're changing. So now when she's coming, she's looking, my Lord looking skinny today. I make paneer sabji. This is the mood of a devotee. I think, how I can make my Nrsingadev happy. And when he is happy, I'm happy. I get so much love in my heart that there's nothing else what I have to ask for. So that's our main concern. But if our main concern is how I can be happy first. Lord, you give me my bread, and then I come to church. If you don't give me bread, I cannot come to church. So this means I make first myself happy. First I fill my stomach. And if my stomach is filled, then I go and maybe fill his stomach. And the Lord accepts it. That's okay, it's better than nothing. But still, that's not what we aim for as devotees. This is the knowledge what we get actually. So, what are you going to take out of this now? We should be actually very happy. We should be happy. Or? We should be happy. And if we're not happy, especially if I'm not happy, please remind me, teachers. If I'm not happy, if I'm grumpy, then tell me, Ramananda, serve Nrsingadev. And if I become more grumpy, then better run away. No, but this is actually the truth. We heard the story in the installation of, I think it was Jagannath in Amsterdam, where everything went wrong. They even invited the television team, and everything went wrong. I think they built a palanquin over the deities, and somehow or other somebody knocked a pillar down. Was 4 pillars upon the palanquin, the roof over the deities, and the whole roof came down. And Prabhupada was standing there and holding the roof. And then he said, "Okay, we need some for the installation. I need some fruits." And the devotees came back. Prabhupada needs fruits for the installation, whatever. And they came back with a whole basket full of cutted apples, and they cutted it all. And Prabhupada said, "No, I need fruit, whole fruits." And everything kind of went wrong, and Prabhupada was very angry and started to tell the devotees off and do this, and why don't do this and this and that. And the television team was there, and it was, oh my goodness, whatever. And then there was a young bhakta, and he had an anger problem. Teachers, you don't become angry, or? No, never. But this person, this young bhakta, he had an anger problem. He became very easily angry. And the devotees always used to tell him, just chant Hare Krishna. And this bhakta, he saw that Prabhupada became angry, and he said that Prabhupada's lip was trembling when he became angry. So he saw that Prabhupada became angry, and he told Prabhupada, just chant Hare Krishna. And all the swamis, all the, with the thunders, they were like, bah, how you can tell this to Prabhupada, they were ready to beat him to the ground. But Prabhupada looked at him, took his feet back, took his hand aside, and chanted Hare Krishna. That's humility, huh? This is Acharya. So, teachers, when I become angry, then you run away, but actually I should behave like that. I should then be really serve Nrsingadev. So please give me your blessings that really, really, really I can become a servant of Nrsingadev. And when I can serve Nrsingadev, then it's easy to serve you. And opposite around, if I'm able to serve you, then I can serve Nrsingadev. So in that sense, I'm asking for your blessings that you please keep me in your association. Be merciful with me, because I'm not the best example, and I may sometimes make mistakes, and please remind me gently, because otherwise I maybe become angry. So please remind me gently that I'm running in a wrong direction here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Sanjay, you want to chastise me? Tejas comes with the microphone. Tejas became such a good boy, huh? In the last, how to say, since the beginning of the year, he changed somehow. Since he shaved. Wow. Now the fireman was coming.
Sonst ist ein Wasser dabei.
Yeah, you remind me of two things which are connected with Radhadesh. One is that one devotee, I don't remember, one senior lady, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, she is staying there, and either she joined because she was personally present in that installation ceremony, and she was so impressed that Prabhupada didn't care about the cameras. He just expressed his anger. Or it was even that she saw it in the TV, and she was impressed by Srila Prabhupada's straightforwardness and non-duplicity, and that made her join. It's so interesting because we think that if we don't present ourselves very, externally nice, then people will not be attracted. I just remembered this. And then the other thing also connected with Radhadesh is that I was told that after last Krishna Janmastami, they found it very difficult to close the dhoti of Gopinath. Yes. So it also confirms what you spoke about, that Muslim tailor. And then I have a question, which is that, the best way to encourage others in devotional service is there something?
No.
The best way to encourage others in devotional service is by one's own example. So, and yeah, you are very humble. You say that if I'm not happy, if I'm angry, then you have to tell me. But then I'm thinking that, like those disciples of Prabhupada, they were inexperienced and fools by background, and I guess we are also like that, but we don't want to stay like that. So how do we happily, because as a senior, okay, we try to be a good devotee and lead others, but as a junior, there is also an art of pacifying the senior. Even with Srila Prabhupada, there were instances he was angry, and then but the servant, when he behaves nicely, then he gets some of that anger, but then afterwards he will also get out of Prabhupada some expressions of humility and being sorry. And so how do we, and I feel like it has to do something with mature understanding, because if I immaturely accept a senior and just try to do whatever he says, then I lose my integrity. So how to happily serve seniors with integrity when it is difficult, because either we are just fools and we do everything wrong, and then they become upset with us, or they have their moods simply, and we have to tolerate that patiently, and it's not easy, but it seems that if we have a good understanding and good intention maybe, then actually it is not so difficult. So maybe you can elaborate you can maybe give some realizations about this.
I don't know, in my experience, to deal with authorities, the best thing to pacify authorities or to serve authorities is with humility. Even if we sometimes see that maybe it's not going in the right direction, but to satisfy them that we do what is said. At the same time, we may look or explore for other ways to do things maybe differently and maybe better. But this has to be done with utmost humility, to not humiliate this authority. You know, when you go and when you think, okay, I found a better way, it's maybe possible. But then you put it in this authority's face, even, I found something better. Then you humiliate him, and you will maybe find a better way, but you will not get his blessings. So it will not work. If you wanna that it works, you have a better idea. you go to him and in a very humble way present him this, that he can take it as his idea. And that's an art, because this means in this moment you renounce even your idea what was better, and give him the opportunity to take and say, okay, that's a good thing, and present this as his idea. This is what a real servant does. He serves the master in that way. And if this master see your humility and your dedication, in one point he will put you forward automatically, because he gives you blessings. Because he understands my heart. So therefore he is the right person following me. And coming out of this, and I will put him forward in this position because he has the right attitude. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I get the clue. It's very subtle.
You have something, you found something out. First of all, the master says something or whatever, and it's not good. It's whatever, you think it's not right, but you never ever tell him this. You're not supposed to tell, oh, master, you went wrong here. No, you're supposed to tell him nothing. You do just what he tells you to do. But on the same time, you try to find a better way to doing things. And when you found a better way, you don't go yourself, here I am better than my master. No, you go to your master without telling anybody else. You go to your master and said, look, I found something, how we can do this better. How is it you would like to present this to the community or whoever. So you give him the opportunity that he takes your idea as his idea. And with this you will get his blessings. If you humble, then you live by these blessings. You live by this, that he thinks, this is a clever boy, he's a smart boy. And you know that he knows that you're a smart boy, and you value this relationship, what develops there. And with the due course of time, if you continue in this way, serving your master, automatically in one point he will say, I will retire, I'm not so good anymore, I'm getting old, but actually the whole time he was serving me so much, so he will be in position. And that's the way of a servant becoming a master. Not by opposing the master, but by serving the master. Does it make sense? It makes sense to you? Makes it sense to you?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Very much.
Okay, good. Okay, anything else? Jai. So I wish you all a happy, blissful day in Krishna consciousness. It's so great that you're here. Some people, some devotees even cannot wait till he stops speaking. They already have to serve. Now I have to do something. We very appreciate you all of us. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shishi Palat Lakshmi Shingadev ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.